Indeed.
Oh, we are in.
And we're in. Welcome back to the podcast. I hate saying everyone's new favorite podcast because that's what the Are You Garbage guys say. And I love their podcast, and I just want to copy H. Foley and be like, everybody's new favorite podcast brought to you by, and here's the CEO across from me. But welcome back to All of This Is Temporary, that brand new podcast where we interview all your favorite. No, wait, that's still Are You Garbage?
Yeah. We try to live in the way we want it to be in the future. So it's the present that we're making it.
Yeah. This is very festive in here.
We do know that nobody listens to this podcast, but we like to pretend that people do because one day.
Babe, what are you talking about? The first one got 30 views.
Thank you, YouTube.
On YouTube. Second one, not so many.
Yeah. So we need you to like and... No, I don't want to say it.
Yeah, like and subscribe.
You're supposed to say that. I just hate how everybody says it, and it's so annoying, and you want to skip ahead.
Or skip ahead right to the end. You're not missing much, I'll tell you.
And then if you skip to the end, then you will miss to see whether I continue to eat the mic for this entire episode or if I start to trail off and tell stories looking away.
That's right. You will miss to see... such vital information in everyone's life. This week, we have a brand new sponsor. This week's podcast is brought to you by Procrastination.
Fun fact, I am surprised every week by the sponsor. I don't know until it's announced. I learned when you do.
Brought to you by Procrastination. Why do it yesterday?
Because we didn't.
That might be the best tagline for procrastination. Just why do it yesterday?
When you can do it tomorrow.
We have so much to go over. First of all, if you can't tell, for all 30 viewers out there, or 7 or 1, it went downhill quickly.
There will at least be 2 views because we're narcissists. And
do you watch it?
Actually, no.
Okay.
I never watched. I have listened to the first one, I think.
A lot of sponsors this week actually brought to you by Coronavirus, but not the COVID one. Don't worry about it. The OG one, just a regular old cold, where my voice sounds really cool. I'll try not to be coughing and snorting, but
you sound normal.
Yeah, I had what do you call it? Sam Elliott voice all week. Mm-hmm. Just hey, dude. It was
really strong one day.
Hey, dude.
I didn't want to leave your side all day. It was like, just keep talking to me.
And thanks obviously to our longtime sponsor, Modelo Especial, but this week's episode is also brought to you by Emergency Leak Repair.
Yes. And we have a plumber in the house, everybody.
Remember the emergency leak repair ads?
Yeah.
Emergency leak repair.
Were those actual ads?
No,
I thought you were just making it up. Those are your ads.
Those are my ads.
Emergency leak repair. Get over here.
It's because my brother is handsome, and I think I'm handsome. I've been told I'm handsome. Have you ever been told that you're pretty or handsome, and then at some point in your life you're like, oh shit, are people just telling me that? The way that they tell like stupid people that they're not stupid. And you're just like, oh, because if I look in the mirror, I'm like, he's an alien. The guy who looks back looks like an alien to me with the long head, and like my eyes are like weirdly googly and far apart. And I mean, I think hopefully everybody looks at themselves in the mirror and goes, some days I like what I see, and some days I'm like, what are you doing?
That's very honest. Yeah. No, it's very true. Yes. If you get, I don't like looking at myself when I'm like smiling.
So anyway,
I feel like it's an alien then.
The emergency leak repair is 2 handsome brothers that like could have made it maybe on their looks, but their personalities prevented them from doing that. So it's like emergency leak repair. It wasn't our original dream, but since we can't become actors, we do this instead. And then just like, call 877. My house is leaking. But before we go on past emergency leak repair, and before we go too much farther, I want to say nice job decorating the studio. We got some chestnuts roasting over the fire. That fire has been here before. It is quite warm, very toasty in here.
It is warm. I was going to say, yeah.
But it's the Christmas season. I don't usually do any decorating at all because I'm a man. And
Yeah, that would be gay if you did.
I have standards. I'm a very straight man, which is why. Even though it feels good when there are decorations up.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, it's gay.
It is. Yeah. Because I think anytime you're making something like warm and homey and like inviting, that's just kind of like a gay thing to do.
Woman shit.
That's girl shit. That's why I'm here. I'm here to do the girl shit.
But it looks really nice. I just want to say.
Quite cozy. And we went and picked out our Christmas tree today.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the happiest little tree ever. It's so spry. It's sprite.
Yeah. It's what? It's Sprite or spry? You meant to say sprightly. Spirited?
I would say, okay, so here's what happened in
You were
my brain just now.
You were trying to use the new word sprite that you just learned, which means like a specter or a ghost. And you
Is that what I mean?
and also you want to say that the house is spruced up and there's a fresh tree.
I wanted to say it was a spry tree. It's,
Spry.
right? Like it's a spry. Yeah, it's spry.
Oh,
But then
okay.
I remembered our Sprite conversation from last night. And I was like, oh, maybe that's what I need to use that word here. And then, so I just trailed off at the end. So
It's like you just give me way too much ammunition. Emergency leak repair. She calls me. So she's got a house in the city. We live out in the country, more the burbs, but little town. And
nobody knows what you're talking about when you say live in the city.
your Airbnb, yeah, a city where other people live.
Not a city.
Yeah, Glendale is a city. The metropolitan area of Phoenix is a gigantic city.
This is true. True. Yeah.
So anyway, she gets a leak out at her valve box. And she calls me after she calls like 6 other people to bring everybody
Not
in
true.
on the loop. My brother's a professional plumber, like grade A professional plumber. And here's the difference between guys and girls for sure. Like if I had like a very specific thing, like a yoga question, I wouldn't call like a bunch of other people and then you. I'd be like, hey, I got a question about this yoga thing. But I wouldn't involve anybody else. But women are like, hold on, finally got a story. I'm going to call everybody. So she calls my brother, calls the city, and then calls me. And no offense to my brother, but I'm way better at fixing shit just because I just get to it faster and in and out, done. No yelling, no swearing. Like, love my brother.
Yeah. And you fixed so many problems that you have, just a wealth of knowledge over.
But you're not going to skip away from this because this is the funniest fucking thing I think that has happened in a minute between us. You said to me, it's leaking out in the yard and sent me a picture of the valve box. And I go, hey, which side of the box is it leaking on? Which side is it wet on? And you said to me,
it's wet on both sides of the box.
Yeah, actually what you said was it's wet on both sides of my box. And I said, oh, is it? Oh, is that right, babe? Oh, is it wet on both sides of your box?
And then
you said,
yeah, it's also wet inside the box too.
To which I start laughing. And then I asked you, babe, did you tell the guy from the city that it's wet on both sides of your box? and you said, why?
I knew at that point I knew what I said.
You did not. I had to tell you that box is a colloquialism for a woman's vagina here.
But I wasn't I knew that I had said something
Right.
of that.
Yeah, because I
Along
started
that vein.
bullying you. Like, yeah.
It's true. I don't know. I'm not innocent. I'm just
Naive. Kind
maybe?
of, on some
And
stuff.
There's like
The other
certain things I just don't know.
The other day you said to me, you can look at porn on your phone?
Well, that was a while ago.
Yeah, still. Not like years ago. It was like
Within
a
a
month
year.
ago or something.
No, it was when we first started
Oh,
dating.
yeah.
It was before I
No.
moved in.
No, it was recently.
Yeah, because I think we were having that conversation on the phone.
Okay, you were still 39
Anyways.
when you said that. And I said, here's the difference between men and women. That's what the phone is for.
It wasn't. So when I had that reaction, it wasn't, oh, you can do that. I didn't know you could do that. It was more of, I never thought about looking up porn on my, I just know it never occurred to me to do that. Of course you can.
We're saying the same thing.
Okay.
We're saying exactly the same thing. Every guy out there is like, my phone has such an amazing picture window viewing area that I could see it all. That's all the phone is for. It was invented by men for porn. And then all the other stuff came along too. Like,
Those are the bells and whistles.
Yeah, you can email and text and talk on it if you want to, but that's not what it's for.
No, apparently not.
It's for porn and scrolling on Instagram.
What a brainless activity.
Oh, that hurt your heart when I said that. You just thought about it.
Yeah.
Scrolling. What was that? You? Turn that off.
That might have been my
Phone.
Oh, did I forget?
Can't believe it.
All my people
Brought to you by
trying to call me.
Silent Mode. Brought to you by Airplane Mode. So what do we got? Christmas tree. This year versus last year's tree getting experience.
Oh, yes. Yes. What do we want to highlight?
I mean, they're totally different
similarities
experiences.
Yeah, they're, same side, like same coin, just two different sides of the coin. Yeah.
You wanna
So
tell
last year, Ray and I, we were only dating for 3 months that time, probably. We're still very new in the relationship. And a girlfriend of mine and we really wanted to get a Christmas tree, like a real one from up north. We wanted to cut one down.
Mm-hmm.
So Ray took us up there with his big manly truck and his chainsaw.
It wasn't a chainsaw. It was a sawzall. And when we got there, you two thought it was going to take like a year and a half to do the actual cutting. First of all, when you cut through a pine tree for your Christmas tree, it's only like
it's like 2
two
inches.
and a half inches in diameter, 3 inches in diameter where you're going to make the cut, which takes all of like 14 seconds to get through with a fresh Sawzall blade.
I had never up in my entire life seen a saw like that before in person. It's so handy. Anyways.
Brought to you by DeWalt.
But this whole thing, the whole thing, we wanted a blue spruce tree. So my friend, she looked up where we can find blue spruce trees, and it was a specific mile marker up on the rim, which the rim is like a 3-hour drive away already. And the day we happened to go was really cold.
Oh, it was like snowing and stuff.
It was snowing up there. The wind was whipping. And not a blue spruce to be found.
Yeah, we thought we saw
some. Looked, because also we weren't totally sure what a blue spruce looked like. I don't think. But now we do, but going in, like everything just kind of started to blend together. I mean, we looked at thousands of trees that day.
Actually, that's pretty accurate. We did look at thousands of trees based on the fact that we were in the forest.
We were in the forest. Yeah, we concentrated on hundreds. Tens of hundreds.
Yeah, but we ended up with a white pine, which is
pine.
which is no blue spruce. And it's no noble fir. It's no Douglas fir. It has big old long ass needles. It can't hold shit. It can't hold your ornaments.
Weakest branches.
Some bullshit. But I got to.
It can barely hold on to its needles.
But I got to look really, really cool when I did it. And you remember the song that y'all played?
What a man, what a man, what a mighty good man. Because we threw, because we had to get 2 trees, one for her, one for me.
Yeah.
And so we threw it in the back, and then we started driving. But it's, it's snowing and I mean, sleeting maybe too. I don't know.
And rain.
It was rain and it was windy. And so we drove until it kind of died down a little bit, but then you had to pull over to put a tarp over everything to protect our precious trees.
Yeah, because we were going to have to drive how far? 120 miles to get back. So this is a 250-mile round trip. Got to get some food on the way. It ends up being like a $200 tree. And and they were not great.
But now we have a story for a lifetime. We can't put a price.
Yeah. Well, we're going to do it again because punishment brought to you by, but we did find the blue spruces a couple months ago at the Cabin Rehabbing Project up in Greer, Arizona. They do have, shout out Greer, blue spruces up there.
So many
that
thank
probably
goodness
won't
nobody listens to this podcast. I don't want everybody to know.
blow up the spot. But that's where you can get a great Christmas tree. Unfortunately, it is 4 hours drive distance, or 4.5, or 5, depending on whatever construction is going on between Payson and Greer.
True.
So we were going to go do that.
The trek.
But then we ran out of time. We're preparing for candle party, my family's little candle party that everybody...
It's a big
candle party, which we'll go into in a second. So we ended up getting one from...
Home Depot.
Home Depot. And it's an amazingly perfect tree.
It's so perfect. The needles stay on and the branches are strong, but like they're spry. So they go up and down.
That's exactly right. They are very spry.
It's a happy little tree. It's a happy, healthy tree.
Yeah. $65 right down the street.
Yeah. It was really the best thing to do because we ran out of time and we had to get it done. And I mean, last year, we didn't get exactly what we wanted, but we were happy with the outcome.
Yeah.
This year, we also didn't get exactly what we wanted, but I'm more than happy with the tree we have.
And then what else did I do yesterday?
Oh, you hung the lights for me. I didn't even really ask. I just put the boxes of lights right where you try to walk.
Yeah.
Not really.
That's how you get it. No, actually, you put them right in the way, but it doesn't say lights on the box. So I just thought it was a kitty litter box that needed to go to the trash.
Yeah, because it's in a chewy box.
I was going to try to sneak it up while you were working 2 nights ago, but I couldn't find the lights. So you knew it was going on yesterday.
Yeah. I kind of thought maybe. Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Sure. You knew.
But when I saw you,
I think I told you I was going to do it.
I think you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of knew. Yeah. Well, when I didn't, I did think that they would be up when I got home. And so then when I saw you, I was like, oh, he's doing it now.
Yeah. So anyway, we've decorated the house this year. This is the first time I've decorated my house since I bought the place. And since we don't have kids, we're both gay.
We're both kind of gay. Yeah. But we also recognize that it's all kind of superficial.
It's girl shit. It's
kind of girl shit. Yeah.
But it's fun.
It's so
I like
nice
it too.
having it down. Like I love the smell of pine.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? It's a small thing.
Sure.
So.
I think that this is a conspiracy. Actually, I just realized sitting here right now that the Christmas tree is a conspiracy to get more presents into your house.
That's why he told us we had to cut the bottom branches.
Oh, of course. That's why he said that.
Yeah. Like, we don't have any presents to put up there. Why would we cut the branches? Do we look like we have children? Do you see kids around here, sir?
She gets beer. That's it. getting her anything else. Anyway, what do you got? What do you got going on over there?
Not a lot. I just was going to share a new word that I learned.
Oh, okay.
From Stephen
What do you mean
King.
not a lot? A second ago you said you have so much.
I said we have so much. I just didn't write any of it down. I thought I did. But
okay.
Yeah.
You need your phone.
Yeah, I thought I had it in my phone, but I did not.
Okay.
I have something,
Should we go
but
to commercial break while you find
funny.
something?
I can tell you like a topic.
No, yeah, we don't have any commercial breaks. You have to keep going.
Why don't I just share my new word?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So I thought that for this segment of the podcast, I would first say the word, the new word, and then I'm going to say what I think it means.
Oh, and then do I also say what I think it
means?
means?
Well, first I'll say the word and tell me, and then I can say like the sentence that I read it from.
Oh, good.
And then I'll tell you what I think it means, and then I'll tell you like the actual definition.
Did you already look up the definition?
Yeah, I have it all looked up.
Then right now at this point, what you think it means should be the definition.
I wrote my guess right here. It says
before you looked it up.
Yeah, it says guess colon, and then my guess, and then underneath that I have the actual definition.
Okay, and before you read the definition, then we'll see if I have a guess.
Okay. I like that. Okay, good. So first the word is fractitious. Fractitious. And then the sentence, it's just really part of the sentence. It's like a dog too fractious to heal.
Broken into too many pieces. Oh shit.
Okay.
What's your guess?
That's similar to mine.
Okay.
My guess was all over the place. So kind of similar.
Fractioned. To me, I'm thinking something like a shattered glass. Fractitious. Something that's fractured multiple times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the actual meaning is troublesome, unruly, quarrelsome, and irritable. That's what AI
That makes sense.
Me.
Like a fracas being the root of a quarrelsome. Like a fracas is like a battle. Sometimes is known as a fracas.
Okay.
Or a fight. Okay, fractitious.
Yeah. That's my new word.
Nice one.
Mm-hmm.
Have we been fractitious lately with each other? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
We need to work on that.
Oh, yeah. No, we don't have anything to fractite over.
Yeah, fractate.
Fractate. Everything's going pretty good.
Because my mammary glands are all milked, so we haven't been
Yeah.
Fractating. We haven't been fractating because my mammary glands are drained. You're doing a good job.
I am.
Yeah. Keep up the good work.
Keeping them drained.
Keep up the great work.
Well, it's steady consistency.
Yeah.
And it's have fun and enjoy yourself. And you got to get what you want too. So.
If I just let you go, if I just stop talking and let you keep talking, you get like in your own head like really fast. It's adorable, babe.
Oh, thank you, babe.
Well, before we get fractitious, what do we have here? Oh, candle party we started talking about. So ever since I was a kid, there are a few traditions that we do during the holidays with my family. When we were kids, my stepdad, he's a beekeeper. He used to be a beekeeper, and then he kind of gave up on it for a little while in between us being kids and us being grown and faraway adults. But a few years ago, well, let's say when we were kids, he would throw a party for the whole town. And it mainly was aimed at people with children, where we all get together and dip candles in these candle dipping machines that he made, which is a drum, 55-gallon drum, cut off, a little bit of water in it. And it used to be just a bunch of the old number 8 cans of V8 or High C. Do you remember the tall cans that you used to get.
They're about this big.
Pineapple juice would come in those cans.
Do they still have that? No.
I don't think they have those cans
for
anymore.
you.
What, pineapple juice?
Not in those cans, and like the acidic stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's only good for like a year, and then you're supposed to have drunk it. But anyway, so we would use those cans, and he would just heat up some wax in those cans in the boiling water bath, and then you dip candles around it. It was a very fun thing. He also has beeswax candles, and then there are like stations for rolling the candle flat. We always did like a wax pouring station, so you can take hot wax in a ladle and you ladle it out onto a surface with like some Vaseline or Pam spray on it to keep the wax from sticking. And then as it sets up, it's thin, so you pour out the wax and it's only like 1/8 of an inch thick or something like that. And just as it's setting up, you can cut it while it's still warm and you can form it into stuff. And we'll make rocket ships, fruit, flowers, things that look like food, saguaro cactus. One of my buddies, when we were really young, made a guy on a toilet reading a newspaper.
Really?
The cutest thing ever. I mean, my stepdad loves that kind of stuff. I made a grand piano once, like with matchsticks. We would make little guys, you take the peanut shells and dip them, and that becomes the little guy's feet, and then you turn it make like a Gumby guy or whatever. I think last year I did I started making these real like frowny face. I have one in the other room. I maybe I'll bring it in for the next episode. But so when the kids all moved out, Bill stopped doing it, but a few years back our mom passed away. Ugh, downer. It's fine. And her favorite thing was candle party. So we said for her wake, I said, let's dip some candles. That'd be a good thing. My stepbrother, Bill's son, Jacob, has been doing candle party up in Sedona because he has a couple of kids. So they've been carrying on the tradition up in Sedona. But after we did it at my mom's wake, we borrowed his machine, and then that spurred Bill's interest into doing it again. So we are on our 3rd year of revived candle party, which is all about kids come over and dip candles, and it's fun for everybody. It sounds ridiculous because it's so slow moving, but it's also very captivating. Nobody's on their phone. You're just concentrating on making the candle, and you have to follow the rules. If you don't follow the rules, first of all, Bill's going to yell at you, and that's embarrassing.
But they're not like real rules. It's like rules so that, you don't fuck candles up.
Right. They are real rules because Bill's going to yell at you and then kick you out if you don't follow them.
But they're like very sensible rules. Yeah. It's like you're fucking shit up if you don't follow these rules.
And if you... The real truth is, just like you're saying, if you do it wrong, your candle will look like shit. Because if you dip it too many times without letting it cool or leave it in the wax too long, then the bottom of that wick starts to fall off and taper down at the bottom because it's too hot down there. It doesn't get time to set up. And then also if you don't wipe it and clean it and maintain it, you're also not allowed to drag your colored wax as it's dripping across. Can you say colored wax? I don't know if you're allowed to say that. So we have a bunch of different dyes and all the different colored waxes. And if you've got a dark red candle that you're dipping, it drips for a little while over the red. But if you drag it across the yellow and the green, that red will get into the yellow and the green, and it will start to tint and change the colors. And you'll start to get orange and brown.
And you get kicked out.
And then you get fucked up. Yeah. We toss you out to the javelina. But we have a new javelina defense system in the mail. So anyway, that's candle party. Yeah. Let's talk about the javelina defense system.
Okay, we can continue more about candle party next week because I'm sure we'll give a recap of how candle party goes. So it's 3 full days, well 2 days, and then Friday night's the adult night.
If we're doing Friday night, I never know if we're going to do it.
According to Bill, we are.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then Friday nights for the adults.
Well, I heard from somebody else.
Who?
One of the regulars at the bar. They've known each other since they were like 10.
Oh. Who?
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah, they call him the Indian. He's this Native American guy. His name's Ron.
Yeah.
You know Ron?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like one of my favorites.
Yeah, he's a good
guy. Yeah.
He comes. He comes to the party.
Yeah, so he said he might come.
Nice.
But yeah, he said that Bill said that, you can come Friday night or for the adult thing or Saturday night. So that moment I was like, oh, maybe it is happening.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, want to tell everyone what else I've been doing for the holiday season?
Holiday season. Dun, 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 dun. He's been picking up the guitar, people.
And doing what with it?
Playing some of our childhood Christmas favorites from memory.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's very good at that.
You think that's for me?
Huh? Yeah, I know it's for me.
You think that's for me?
It's for the children.
It's for the children in my house. And the gay woman that lives here.
I'm proudly gay. Not lesbian gay.
Yeah. No, that's been fun. Doing Silver Bells.
I absolutely love it. Because I haven't played any Christmas music. Usually I'm playing Christmas music around this time of year.
Right.
I haven't been. So you're the only one playing it, and it's the best.
Yeah.
It's my preferred way to listen to Christmas music.
From memory, by the way. Not from memory like I've learned these songs before. This is from memory of like remembering how the song goes and then figuring it out on the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And it only takes like,
so good.
What, 10 minutes to figure out a song?
And you've done 2 so far, right?
Yeah.
Or just 1?
Well, I started working on a third, but only for a second.
Yeah, I need to jump in on the challenge. I bet I can figure out.
Yeah.
I'll just play around. I know the basic chords. I might just need a little refresher. But I have this nerve issue.
Oh, is that what's going to hold you back? Because your hand's been sleeping while you sleep?
I'm working, getting back into society with my hands.
Call her right in if you know why someone's hand will fall asleep while they're sleeping until you massage right back here, the nerve behind the armpit. Mm-hmm. Is it just a pinched nerve from doing way too much yoga in your 40s?
No, I don't do that much.
No, just like 9,000 practices a day because because you've been being neurotic about trying to get your class right.
But I wasn't, so neurotic this past week. Once I had the flow down, it was easy for me to remember. So I have the structure in my head. So I started teaching yoga again, and I'm very much loving it.
Yeah.
It makes me so happy.
Well, you were a badass yogi for a long time.
I was okay. I was dedicated. Dedicated.
Yeah, you spent...
practitioner is very important to me.
You spent how long where? Doing what? How many times a day?
I practiced in total like 15 years, 6 days a week. 1 to 3 hours a day.
Weren't you living somewhere?
In Bali, Indonesia. So my dream was to go to India, to Mysore, but had some issues with my application. I tried for 3 months.
You settled for a white guy instead.
I just had to throw my hands in the air, and I said, okay, maybe I need to go somewhere else to study. And then that's when I found Prem and Radha in Bali, and I started watching their videos online on their website.
Shout out Prem and Yada.
Prem and Yada. Or Prada. That's what. Prem and Radha. Prada.
Yada, yada, yada.
Yada, 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 yada. Yeah. But I had a lot of different teachers. They were my main ones. And then I studied in Kuala Lumpur, and then here in the States, in Arizona, traveling teachers.
Right. So you picked up a little bit of yoga.
Just a little bit here and there.
But now you're teaching at our friend's studio.
Yeah. So I'm playing around with taking what I've learned and cutting it up into little chunks that are digestible and fun and approachable for everybody.
Just like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Chop them in the little pieces. Is that who you
think of? Fun and digestible for everybody.
But I've been teaching for a few weeks now. I did three classes, and the first 2 didn't feel that great. I think because I was trying to be somebody I wasn't in class, and then this last week I wasn't doing that, and I really loved it.
Good.
But I was also thinking about who I was teaching and how I should teach them. I still have a lot to, learn.
Yeah,
because teaching is so different. Teaching is so different than practicing.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's why I think your arm falls asleep.
Yeah.
You're doing way too much yoga.
It's really bad. It's bad sometimes.
Yeah. And we're just it's not gonna be anything else other than that.
I thought of I remembered a funny story.
Oh, okay.
From the other night at work, I didn't tell you. I forgot to tell you about. So, I got laid off back in June and I applied for unemployment. And after my severance ran out, I was, living off of unemployment to help me pay bills while I was searching for a new job. And as part of the unemployment, you get this card, the Way to Go card. It looks as you know it when you see it. Yeah. And I'm really embarrassed about it.
It says Way to Go on it, but what it means is you suck.
Yeah.
It means way to go. It means she's poor.
Yeah. She does not have a job. Anyway, and then I can't transfer the money into my bank account for some reason. It just
they only let you
goes
spend
back.
it.
Yeah, so I have to use this fucking card. So I only use it when I go to the grocery store.
Do you think that's a plan to get less people to use unemployment?
Use shame as a way for them.
They're like, we're not going to let you transfer it into your bank account and try to have any decency. We're going to make sure that everyone knows you use this card.
It's so crooked. Yeah. Anyway, so I only use it, when I go to the grocery store. Anyway, so at work, I'm getting ready to leave. This is Friday night. Was it Friday or Saturday night? Because I wasn't closing Saturday night. And we were dead. We were so dead. I mean, from 6 on, nobody was coming in. And Taylor, you met
Shout
Taylor.
out MVP Pub.
Yeah.
For having 9,000 people on.
Yeah.
For 10 guests. Anyway.
So I was leaving and it was just Taylor that I was leaving. And she was like, I think she's been feeling kind of down lately and some stuff going on in her personal life. And it was just a shit night for her because she had to get stuck staying to close and nobody was in. And so I'm leaving. And what are you doing?
I'm trying to motion for you to get closer to the mic.
Oh, yeah. Is this better? Thanks, sorry, baby. I thought you were telling me to get to the point of my story. No, I need to do that too.
I would never do that.
Anyway, so I'm getting ready to leave and I'm like, are you sure if I go? I'm like, and she's like, yeah, it's fine. And she's like trying to put somebody's credit card through and she's like, it keeps declining. And I'm like, oh, and that's always like a sucky situation, right? You don't want to tell the person their card got declined.
Tell me it was their EBT card.
I look at the card, it's the Way to Go card.
Somebody's trying to buy booze at a restaurant with their unemployment card. I mean, I guess that's okay.
That's just so embarrassing to tell them. I know you don't have a job right now, and this is your only income, but it ain't enough.
Also, this one's empty.
Hashtag, I also expect a tip.
Fuck, that hurts. That reminds me, well, at least you had your ducks in a row enough that you could afford to lose your job. Like, it was a high enough paying job. You had squirreled some money away, so it was like, your Airbnb takes care of your mortgage there. And so that really worked out. Mm-hmm. But I so remember the days of just the feeling of deciding which bill isn't going to get paid this month is so stressful, like in your early 20s. Yeah. When you're just out there. But I think that's something you have to go through. Like my buddies, I saw an old friend of mine. Strangely enough, we talked about him on the podcast, the guy that I was called to ask about officer validity, whether he was... they asked me to verify his quality of character for becoming an officer. Anyway, I saw him for the first time in 25 years. He's a big fan of the podcast. Random. This is where he called me because he was like, dude, I heard that podcast.
It's been so long.
Yeah. So anyway, I was like, I
got a new sponsor for you.
Yeah, one of his kids is 16. And I go, are you driving yet? You got a car? Because he and I both started driving at the same age. And we were friends since we were in 4th grade. So it was like when we could get cars, we were like, fuck yeah, get me a car. Like I want, get wheels under me. But the kids today, like they don't care. And I feel like they're not going to get the understanding of what it's like to have to make that decision of like, which bill am I not going to pay this month? Because I got my car payment. I need the car. I got my phone payment. I need the phone. I got my rent payment. I need the rent. I'm going to have to eat. I'm going to have to fuel it up. And then it's like, for a while I smoked cigarettes for a long time. And it's like, those cigarettes are always there, you got to get the cheap ones.
$2 a pack I remember getting when I was so broke.
I would get rollies.
Roll your own?
Buglers, just.
Hell yeah. I would get the pipe tobacco, the flavored pipe tobacco. And just, and then just like sprinkle it in. Like the vanilla was my favorite.
Into a cig and make your own. Yeah, just
sprinkle it and then like a little flavored cigarette. Oh my gosh.
You're like,
it was a party favorite. I'd go to parties and roll everyone's cigarettes.
Yeah, you're like, I make Black and Wilds.
Yeah, that's why I love the cigar so much. It was like an homage to
the olden days.
Yeah.
But I think those times are so important because it makes you appreciate it, like makes you set it up in the future to where you're like, okay, even if shit goes sideways, I'm okay if you're like the best number in my mind is at least a year where you could just skate on by for a year and it won't like kill you. But obviously watching that money go out of the account with no money going in is definitely an uncomfortable feeling. But I do think that going through those early phases of like being young and not like quite cutting it, but still hacking it, like just making whatever decisions you got to make to get by and then going, okay, well, you know what? I need another job if I'm going to get all this stuff done. But today, like they don't, like a lot of kids don't care. Not every kid obviously is like that, but I definitely feel like we got so lucky to have been raised before that intranet moved in and just made you think you can just lay around on your couch and get $1 billion because you can.
Because you can, yeah. A lot of them do.
If you're good at TikTok, which is banned from the U.S., we'll see.
I need to look into that. Yeah, I don't have it on my phone anymore.
Yeah, I can't believe they did not overturn the ruling.
Well, it's still going through, I thought you said. Right?
Well, they have one more appeal, so they're going to take it to the Supreme Court, which is our highest court, and we'll see what they say there. I think they're going to try to stand, because that's where the Constitution gets called out. So this is freedom of speech and free business practice.
Yeah.
I don't know, is free business practice in the Constitution?
Freedom of capitalism. It's my capitalistic right.
I think it's in there somewhere. I think it's about religion. No. But shout out livestock pistols, huh?
Oh, defense mechanisms. What did you call it? A pig defense system? All right. So is that what you called it?
Yeah, javelina defense system.
That's not the word you use. It was pig defense system.
Pig defense? Okay,
yeah, but javelina defense system. Anyways, the words highlighted here are defense system.
Yeah, when they attack.
Yeah, so you say this to me. We're laying on the couch, and all of a sudden you start chuckling, and you say...
I was cackling, actually.
I have a perfect present for the boys. It's a pig or javelina defense system. In my mind, immediately I'm going to picture something.
What did you picture?
I pictured like fences and gates or something of some sort, and like maybe electrical systems, just more than one item.
Okay, keep them out.
Multiple things.
Right.
To keep them out. Yeah, a defense system.
Like
but
barbed
also,
wire, a no man's land, some mines, and a couple guard towers?
Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so like a system.
That's intense.
But I know Bill too, and I know he would appreciate something like that,
I come over. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm welding stuff. I'm like, I'm go away. I'm making your Christmas present. He's like, oh, whoa. No. Anyway.
Wait.
Moving on. That was imaginary. So what I found, though, which is the best gift ever. So Philip, my little brother, just received for his birthday earlier this month a BB gun pistol, CO2 charged. And it is so cool. It is way fun.
It's fun, yeah. I only shot it a couple times, so I want some more time with it.
And they keep talking about this fully automatic BB gun rifle, which exists. And so I go, I think I have an idea. So I bought one of those and 6,000 rounds of ammunition and like 3 cases of CO2 cartridges. Because here's what happens. Now, here's why you need pig defense. They're so offensive.
They're so annoying.
So it used to be, they definitely will like be aggressive with you. Not that we're small anymore, but when we were younger, it was like, okay, we'd throw rocks at them to get them to disperse. And at the beginning, they would like run away. And then they stopped running away, so we started shooting them with a BB gun. So the BB gun doesn't go into the skin, doesn't like break the skin, but they would run away because that stings. And then after a while, they stopped running away from the BB gun.
Okay,
so
like,
we
it just hurts, but I'm fine. Okay.
So we switched to flat nose pellet guns. So the pellet is flat, not sharp. Once again, bounces off their skin, doesn't cause like permanent damage, doesn't embed, but it hurts more because there's more charge behind it. And so they would run away. And then they stopped running away from that. And we're like, what do we do? So we're gonna spray them. Wow. This week's episode is also brought to you by Onomatopoeia. Well, you know what? I think we can probably pretty much call it Happy Holidays. We're at 48, unless you got something else.
I do, but
what do you got?
No, I want to wait for the next one. No, I want to wait for the next one because it's gonna be lengthy. So
we can make this one a long one. Let's keep going.
You want to keep going?
Yeah.
So I mean, we've recently been talking about homeschooled.
Oh. I forgot about that. Yeah.
So Ray, you've been talking a lot about, what have you been calling it? Like the comedy zeitgeist?
Yeah.
So tell us about the joke that you came up with the other day and then what happened right after.
Okay. Do we need to preface it with a reminder of what I think the comedy zeitgeist is? The comedy zeitgeist being, because I'm doing comedy, I think like ideas of their own and that we're tuning in, or that we're all sharing the same ideas, or that comedy is so obvious that when you're good at figuring out what's obvious, comedians will think of the same thing. Mm-hmm. So I'll tell a joke and then it will appear and I'm like, what the fuck? Like I thought of that joke also. Usually the professionals think of it and do it better and practice it and do it right. But it's like starting to bleed a little bit into other areas. I was watching this stupidest show and I was sitting around being high, had nothing to do, feeling sick. I'm like, oh, this is when you watch shit TV. So I watched a couple of episodes of that show called The Ultimatum, in which couples, one of the party in the couple wants to get married, the other doesn't. So the one issues the ultimatum, marry me or we're going on this show. And if we don't stay together, I'm breaking up with you. And then so it's a group of broken up couples, one of which has issued, one of which has been issued the ultimatum. And then they date within each other and they like do a trial marriage. 2 people on this show are like the artists and they're like hitting it off. And at one point, one of them goes, oh, I was homeschooled. And they have so much in common. They really do. And And the other one's like, what? Me too. So immediately I start laughing and I write a joke, which I'm going to try on stage. Tell me if you like it. Whenever you hear someone brag about being homeschooled, what they're really telling you is they don't know algebra. Because there's no fucking way their mom taught them algebra. Like, probably not. Like, probably not. And like 3 minutes later in the show, it cuts to the homeschooled girl solo in front of the camera talking about the show. And she says, talking about how much time is left. And she goes, well, it's only week 1. And so I'm not very good at math, and I start laughing so hard because the show is like 8 weeks. It's a single digit number of
only
weeks.
Only 1 weekend. How many weeks are left? You're here for 2 months. You've been here for 1 week.
Take the number of weeks minus one week. How many weeks are there now? And she was stumped.
She did finally realize the answer. We don't know if she had help from a producer in the studio.
But wow, yeah. So the comedy zeitgeist even goes beyond like being able to see that little future glimpse. Like it makes me feel really, really hopeful for doing the comedy in the future.
Yeah.
And speaking of which,
the way that I think about the zeitgeist. Did you see what I did there?
I did. Good job.
Self-corrected. So the way that I think about the zeitgeist is I think of it as like a frequency of jokes of those feels, and then like once you're on that frequency of being lighthearted, it's easy to grab what's in there.
Yeah, but how do you explain that one though? Where I'm watching this and I think of a joke about it means they're bad at math. Yeah. And then 2 seconds later on the show, she goes, I'm not very good at math. And I'm like, that's
the simulation,
that's right.
Perfect play.
Yeah. Yeah, that is the simulation. Yeah.
So anyway, so God is talking about, kids that are homeschooled and how, such an accurate stereotype that really is.
Yeah.
So I have a good friend who's homeschooled, and she's very accomplished in her career. She's very high up
Finger
at her
painting
company. Yeah. She's very, very high up at her company. Oh. And, she has 2 master's degrees. She ended up going to public school for high school.
Homeschooled, yeah.
For high school, she was,
okay.
Yeah, she was in public school.
Gotcha.
But she was homeschooled for her entire adolescence. And her family was incredible, and still is incredibly religious, incredibly. And so, anyway, so that's what she was brought up with, is the Bible and being homeschooled. And she's really the only person that I've ever known that was homeschooled. But there's one defining story about her that happened about a year ago. And it was like a game night. They had a bunch of friends over. And she was taking score, and
shout out Joe.
Oh, we make fun of her for this all the time. Halfway through the game, I'm like, Joe, what's the score? And usually it just takes 10 seconds for someone to come back with the score. And so we all keep chatting, and she still hasn't given us the score. And I'm like, Joe, what? This is going to look over. And she's counting the tallies. So instead of when we were in school, you would tally something on the board for the whole class. It'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So
with a hash. Yeah. 4 up and a hash mark is 5.
Yeah. So you would count in 5s. And that's, we learned that in first grade, and we do it in our entire schooling, every day almost. And she's doing each line. And so we're
top to bottom. Yeah. One.
And so we're
one.
For each hand, it was 1 tally, and then it was each person. So it was a tally here and then there. It was a complete mess. And so we're like, what are you doing? And she defends it. She said, she's like, this is detailed accounting. This is why I'm so high up in the company. This is why executives trust me, because I can look back and know who won what hand. And I'm like, no, you don't.
Hell no.
It was all bullshit, her defense. And she knows it, but she's still going to defend it.
Oh, that's funny.
So yeah, I mean, so she, she's just, inherently smart and hardworking. So that's why she's successful in life. But there are clear gaps in knowledge. And then when
I thought you were going to say her teeth.
But, last week I was helping my little cousin who's in first grade. I was helping him with his homework, and he's doing his math homework, and that's his favorite. So he was doing good with that. And, but yeah, it's, I would just read the question to him and then he would answer it, on his paper. He just wanted someone to read the question to him. And it just reminded me of like, when we're in school for, God, how long are we in school for? Like 10 years, 12 years. I'm like that homeschool girl right now. For like 12 years we're in school, and we practice these math equations every single day, and they get, progressively harder as the years go on. But we
practice
there's a teacher
the same who knows
things,
the answers and how to teach it.
And we practice the same things over and over and over and over again. And there's like a method, and a sequence to what you're learning throughout, your schooling. And then you don't get that when you're homeschooled. Maybe you don't practice the same things every day because you don't have a teacher holding you accountable.
Yeah, and then doing homework and drills and all the stuff.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
Yeah. So it's like, homeschool is just like doing homework, basically, right? Instead of like actually going to school and like learning something.
I don't know what homeschool is.
I don't even know. I can't even imagine.
It's not a real school. I know that.
It's not. I always thought I would like homeschool my kids, but I don't know.
Fuck no.
They need to get out and they need to.
No, you pick a town where it's safe to send them to the school.
Yeah.
Regardless of what they're getting, like what the school is supposed to be, like if it's good or bad. Like Arizona was supposed to have bad schools. I learned AP calculus. It has good schools. It has bad people.
Yeah. You had good parenting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They didn't let you watch TV.
All right. Well, anyway, let's wrap it up. Cheers, baby. Happy Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy holidays if that's your thing. And as always,
just remember,
don't forget to
like and subscribe.
Brush your animals.
And floss your teeth.
Yeah. Yeah. Bye.
Bye.